biblically the roles of the father, I would say, I think David's words to his son Solomon, right before Solomon was about to take the throne. And we all know these words. He says, "Be strong and show yourself a man." But then he goes on to say, and follow the commands, follow the statutes, follow the laws and the decrees for which God has given you to follow. So in other words, be obedient. And so as we talk about fatherhood, my big thing is priorities are huge when it comes to fatherhood. That's what I believe Scripture is very imperative on. A lot of people, I believe Scripture even mentions and references that we are to, in a sense, not neglect our Jerusalem, to go on and pursue the Judeas and the Samarias and the uttermost parts of the earth. So never prioritize what you do over, in a sense, who you are and the people that you have the opportunity of impacting, influencing, and spending time with on a daily basis. Your marriage, your family, your kids matter more than you know. And so investing in those things every day is so significant. Make sure you get your priorities in order. But also, I would be remiss not to just mention, make sure that you're paying attention to what you're paying attention to and to what you are giving, in a sense, life in your own personal life. So when you are spending time with your kids, make sure, and when it comes to the presence aspect, special time, quality time with them, but also, how are you leading them? My dad always talks about the power of influence in fatherhood, and he always reminds me of it. He always says, if you spit, they'll spit.
Yeah.
If you cuss, they'll cuss. If you get angry and have outbursts, typically they'll get angry and have outbursts. But also on the flip side of things, if you love, they'll love. If you're kind, they'll be kind. If you forgive, they'll forgive. There's a quote that my pastor always says, that typically what parents do in moderation, their kids will do in excess, because it's what's modeled for them, right? It's what's familiar. And so what do you want your child to catch, in a sense, when they're around you? You're contagious for all the wrong reasons and for all the right reasons. And for me, I think of what that has looked like in my personal life. I think of my dad and just being able to recognize, man, my dad is contagious for all the right reasons. And my dad is still someone I look up to. My dad is still my hero. And I always joke around, at the age of 28, Pops, I still want to be just like you. That's who my dad is to me, and I'm so grateful for that.
That is so powerful right there, and that is so true. How we live our lives is how they're going to live theirs. I mean, they model us. I mean, I see that with my two boys, and at times it's almost like, oh no, but it's a check. Like, all right, you need to improve on this. And tell you a funny story. So my oldest, who is about to have his license, he's had his learner's permit for the last year. And I'm a little impatient with driving.
Yeah.
I might say things at time like, come on, like, what are you doing up there? All right, I drive normally. I might lean a little bit to excessive speed at times. Yeah. But again, I live in Atlanta, and you kind of have to, or you're going to get run over, right?
That is true.
He is by the law, if not below it. If he gets a ticket, if he gets pulled over, it's because he's 10 miles per hour under the speed limit. But we'll be stuck in traffic, and I will hear him say, if somebody's a little bit slow with the stoplight, come on, what are you doing up there? And I'm like, oh, no. Thinking like, one, you're not in a rush because I know the way you drive.
Right.
But second, where did he hear it from? Oh, he heard it from me, and it's like, all right. So we have to behave. We have to watch how we act when we're driving because they're watching this. And but that's so true. Roles of a father. Can you speak on that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Roles and I mean, you did, but the responsibilities of a father.
Yeah. When it comes to the responsibilities of a father, I believe it's not only to love God, right, and to know Him more intimately and personally, but also to make His name known. And so what I mean by that is constantly being a reflection of Christ in and to our kids on a daily basis. And a lot of what you just mentioned is it comes down to like behavior and what we model, what we display for our kids on a daily basis. But also I think dads and parents at large are really good at instructing their kids, and they're not so good at investing in their kids. And what I mean by that is we're really good at offering commands, and we're really good at trying to teach obedience, but we don't really invest in them the necessary ingredients that can actually get them places in life that maybe they couldn't have gone on their own.